Welcome in to the Henry Chisholm Podcast, where Todd Davis has been traded to PHNX.
Oh, okay.
Zach Stevens has been cut. Henry, without further ado, it's your show.
I don't think you were looking at that chat yesterday. I was the one everybody was saying, cut. The one guy saying, cut me with a knife. So
that was scary.
Yeah, that was a lot. But
well, this is what Alyssa wanted. This is the show that she built. So,
yeah.
Henry,
wow.
Take us away.
I mean, who did we trade Todd for? We should have like a Todd replacement if that's the case. But yeah, big news. Salary cap announced $255 million this year, which is $13 million more than we thought, which means that $26 million over the cap we thought was yesterday. Now it should be around $13 million, over the cap saying $10.7 million. I mean, the Broncos now get to keep another starting player, which is crazy.
Maybe Alyssa made the right decision keeping Henry on right now. You're just rocking and rolling. We're diving into
If we're
the DNVR
if we're talking about
Broncos
something, I mean, there's
podcast.
news 5 minutes ago or Broncos podcast. I mean, we can be goofy if you want.
So the Broncos aren't in the red? You're the one that
doesn't like
typically
the
likes to go
chaos.
that route.
Is that true?
Yeah, he does not like the chaos to start the show.
It's just straightforward.
But good news, you're right. Broncos now only $11 to $13 million over the cap. All the moves we talked about yesterday, Broncos don't have to make as many of them if they don't want to, or they can still make those moves and just have more salary cap space to sign players if they want.
Yeah, we're in a much better position than we were yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday was feeling kind of dreary.
It was dreary.
And it felt like win now was definitely not the right mentality to have. But now we can win a little bit more. You know, I think we have some wiggle room, and maybe we can shuffle things around, and maybe still go after one good player in free agency. So who knows? Maybe we can do more. Maybe they knew the salary cap was going to be raised this high. Maybe they had insider information that we didn't have.
So I don't think the league office is like cluing Sean Payton into a lot of things. I don't think he's at the top of their list right now. But it's possible.
But maybe they're cluing in the Penner group. I mean, if they're
that could be
richest owners in football. They're probably,
There you go.
you guys are going to be just fine. You know what I'm saying?
If you don't mind not telling Sean, though, we'll let you guys know, but don't tell Sean, please.
I think they'd be cool with that.
Yeah, it's crazy though, because like from a player perspective, I mean, I'm sure they kind of look at it and it's just like, okay, cool, whatever. But also, that's another $416 million that's spent on players this season. That's a lot of money that's going to be going around.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
You're right. It's a win-win-win for everyone. Is there a loser in this?
A loser. I mean, I guess teams like the Texans, who have so much cap space that they probably wouldn't be able to spend it all anyway. Like now all of a sudden, like every team is going to be able to put in a couple more bids on guys that they want. They'll be able to bid those prices up a little bit. They'd be better off. Like they would have been better off with a super low cap number, where it's like take 20 million off the projections, then the whole market goes down. Nobody gets paid as much, and so many teams are just like cutting players just to get there, and so there's even more out there.
No, not buying it.
You don't think so?
Because they can just roll that money into next year and the year after and the year
But
after.
so can
and the
everybody
year
else,
after.
you know?
Right, exactly. But I mean, they get to, just like every team benefits, so do they. I think the loser is the TV contracts, because clearly they paid too much for these deals where the NFL gets to pay their teams and pay their players that much more because the TV deals were so much.
They're getting paid though.
Yeah.
No matter what they paid them in the TV contracts, the TV providers are definitely getting paid on the back end.
Did you guys see how much overtime made CBS with the Super Bowl going into overtime?
No, how much?
So because the Super Bowl went into overtime, that was just free additional Super Bowl ads. And Super Bowl ads cost like $7 million
For 30 seconds,
for a
right?
30-second ad this
Yeah.
year. And there were 10 additional Super Bowl commercials during overtime. So it made them $70 million that they just weren't expecting at all. Because the game went into overtime, CBS made $70 million additional dollars.
Yeah, they were totally not expecting that. Like, wow, this happened. It went into overtime.
Wouldn't every Super Bowl go into overtime if that was the case? This is only the second one.
It's just timing. I feel like, and now everybody's showing their hand. Before they used to hide it, different ways. Now everybody knows everything is rigged. They know there's a script, so they're just like, we can do whatever we want now.
Yeah.
Did you
it's
see
crazy
that-
though, because I wonder how those contracts work. Because obviously, like, you have however many slots during the game, you sell those to like Gatorade or whoever, and then you have like your post game show, so you sell your ads for the post game show. But then, like, if it's like Sharman has the first ad break of the post game show, there must just be like a clause in there that says like, okay, this will cost you like $300,000 during the post game show, but if it goes to overtime, then all of a sudden this is an ad that costs
I think
you
they bid
$7
it all
million.
out. I think they bid it all out. I think they bid out overtimes and they bid out everything just in
probably,
case. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And if it never happens, then everybody gets their money back. But if it happens, then
That makes sense.
we run it.
Wait, just in case or when it's planned?
Both. They were ready because they were not scrambling looking for commercials.
They weren't. Could you
exactly.
imagine calling Gatorade? Hey, can we spend $7 million? Can we pay you
Exactly.
$7 million for this ad right now?
How
But
quick?
those
Yeah,
ones
they're
you would think would
prepared.
be even more expensive. Like if you're putting a bid in on an overtime ad, like there's more people watching overtime than there is like
Probably is.
halfway through the second quarter ad break.
Especially in that second quarter when it was boring as can be.
Yeah, which was scripted.
Yeah.
So they knew that going in.
They knew that because Kanye's ad was coming up. They were like, let's make it dry so everybody stops watching. Then we'll do the Kanye ad and then we'll bring it back up.
Did you guys see the drama when it got into first overtime? It wasn't reports, but people that were in this meeting started tweeting that an NFL official said in the week leading up, it like just an informal NFL meeting that media was invited to. He said that this game would go into double overtime. And we were one play away from the game going into
Wow.
double overtime.
Wow.
And an NFL employee saying leading up to the game that it was going to go into double overtime.
But they haven't found that guy. He's missing for sure.
He'll never be found either.
Dang.
This salary cap thing, though, just like realistically, so maybe you trade Jerry Jeudy, you cut Tim Patrick, all of a sudden you're sitting there with enough to sign your draft class. Like you're set and ready to go, and beyond that, anything you want to do in free agency, like for example, if you want to keep Russ, you can just push $12 million in his contract down the line. There's enough to go sign. Honestly, probably Josie and Lloyd, the way that contracts are set up because their cap hits are so low. Like you're looking at not really having to do all that much to wind up with enough space to make a couple of little moves and potentially like big moves if you really wanted to. Like if you really wanted to find a way, you could still make like the Bolles move, and it would leave you with some trouble at left tackle. But that $16 million, in theory, you could probably get two $16 million per year players because the cap hit would be about 8 in that first year. So this really does change the entire outlook of the offseason.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think it changes that much. The Broncos are still going to restructure similar guys. They're still going to make 1 to 3 significant moves in terms of cutting guys or trading guys. But they need to really build the depth of their team.
Yeah.
So when Greg Penner last year told us they're not going to spend big in free agency, George Payton came out a month ago and told us that the team is not going to be big in that first wave of free agency. I think any additional money they have is just going to go to that second and third wave of free agency. I don't think we're looking. I do trust what management has said, and we're not looking at big free agent signings. They did that last year by getting 3 big-time names and big-time salaries and Ben Powers, Mike McGlinchey, and Zach Allen. Good teams don't do that year in and year out. It was so rare that during the 4-year Peyton Manning stretch in Denver that a team went out and did exactly what the Broncos did in terms of getting big names and spending tons of money in free agency and that actually turning into success. Typically, teams that are doing that are the bad teams that have tons of cap money and then they just spend it poorly on and they overspend on players that there's a reason they're in free agency. So I don't think that this means the Broncos are now going to go out and get a couple of big time guys. I just think
totally
it means that that any additional savings will be for depth guys.
Which
And
they
it's
can
funny.
now add, though.
But
But
I
now
don't-
they get to go
I
add
don't
those
necessarily
guys.
feel like depth is the problem. I feel like, I don't know. We're in a position where we need big star, big name guys that really make a difference because from like a Zach Allen and a DJ Jones to Mike Purcell, it's not really a fall off. Like
Yeah.
that's our depth from like Baron Browning to Jonathan Cooper. It's like the way that
Yeah,
they
to
play
Benito to- yeah.
Benito. It's like they're all kind of in the same
Yeah.
bracket as far as talent of player.
Even like linebackers, Josie, Alex, Jonas Griffith, Drew Sanders still around. Like I kind of agree. Like there's probably spots.
I think there's a little bit more of a drop off in that position. Just a little bit more there.
You gave Drew Sanders so much shit all of last year, so now you can't say he's not much of a drop off.
But I mean, it might be a drop, but I mean, like they're not going to go cut him and replace him. Like he's still got that roster, but like they're not looking for more depth at inside linebacker.
Yeah, and even if like on the back end, besides Pat and Justin, I think the safeties have a little bit of that.
Got the young guys.
The corners
Skinner,
have a little bit of that, and so I think we need guys that are going to make a bigger impact, not just depth of the same caliber player. So I'm saying all that to say
Even
what I don't know.
Like the offensive line, maybe.
Yeah,
offensive
yeah,
line.
yeah,
We still
yeah.
need to put this in perspective. The Broncos are still $10 million over the cap right now, and they've still got to build their roster out through these depth guys. They still got to sign the draft class, and they're $10 million over. I don't think this changes much because it's not just the Broncos that got this unexpected raise. Every team in the NFL got this unexpected raise.
Yeah,
so I think it's good news, but like it doesn't change the conversation in terms of like the outlook of the Broncos now. In my perspective,
I think that totally changes the
so
outlook.
win totals and stuff.
Probably. I mean, I think the big one is I think Bolles is back now, and because Bolles is back now, all of a sudden you're not looking at a tackle in the draft. Like you're not looking at free agent tackles, and so you get to use those in different directions. Like it's the fact that you don't have to tear down so much that just changes how things shake out. Because like if you actually did go extreme with the receivers and say like Jerry's gone, Tim Patrick's gone, like Sutton, we're gonna try to trade him, get some assets back. If you're really trying to go down, well, you still got to replace those guys. Like you still have to go get starters. Like $13 million going into an offseason. I mean, that's again like that's probably the Powers and McGlinchey cap hits combined. Like if they wanted to, they could go that route. They could go the depth route. They have so many more options now, whereas before it looked like step one, choose 3 of your veteran starters and they're gone. And if you want to do anything else, choose a 4th. And then you can do that other stuff too. So I mean, there's just so much more flexibility now.
I think there is more flexibility, but I do agree with you. I don't think this means more wins next season.
Right.
I do think they have more options, but I still think they're in the same boat as far as talent, production, and then as far as like winnable games next year. So I agree with what you're saying, but I don't feel like we need to go get more depth.
Fair.
That's what I'm saying.
Fair.
If we can scrape together money, maybe we just go spend it on one person, like one D lineman, because we can probably get one interior D lineman for 14. You know what I'm saying?
Which would
a good
be
number.
awesome.
Just spend it on one good player.
There we go. So,
Yeah.
You know who loves this so much more than Henry is Sean Payton, because we know he's all about going all in every single year, spending all the cap space that they can, because you look at the Saints, I mean, they just did what we talked about yesterday. They're starting to do that because of the cap situation that Sean left them in.
Now they're only $68 million over the cap.
And they restructured Derek Carr today to open up another $23 million, which just kicks the can down the road even more. Some people were wondering if Derek Carr was even going to be their quarterback this year.
Yeah.
No, he's not just their quarterback this year. He's their quarterback for like many more years because of this. And it's just to make it by. And that's what Sean Payton's Broncos are going to be all about, is making it by. So every single dollar that they get, and this is, you know, to the conversation we had yesterday, this is $6 million more than we thought they were going to have yesterday. That's going to be spent somewhere on this team. The Broncos had, $1.5 million of excess cap last year? That is way less than they had for the average of the past 10 years or 8 years. I think they averaged like $10 million that they were rolling over. Not with Sean Payton at the helm. With Sean, it's like $1 million over.
Yep. I just pulled it up. So last year's cap hit, McGlinchey $6 million, Zach Allen $6 million, Powers 5.25. So like all those guys cost you a combined 17.25. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to go out and add guys, but again, like if that's the route you want to go, $13 million goes quite a long way.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's $6 million from what we were talking yesterday. Like yesterday, we were building it where it was
20. I was at 26.
No, because I thought we put it down to like 16 or something with the projected cap hit that we had.
So
or the projected increase.
I was looking at the 242.5 was my expectation. I don't even think we got too deep into it. But yeah, 242.5 would have left him 26 million over.
I think we were also talking 250.
250.
Okay,
Yeah,
250.
Yeah.
So I guess compared to that,
So it's
in my
five- it's
mind,
5
I was still
million
thinking
more.
you're 26 over.
Okay.
Now Spot Rack has him 13 over, and over the cap, like you said, has him 11 over.
Yeah.
Like that's, I don't know. Off season got way more fun.
Well, there we go, Henry. I like that positive mindset
Yes.
on a Friday. And entering this, we were talking about the people that'll be celebrating. It's going to be Sean Payton, George Payton, and they should check out our friends over at Circle K to grab some celebratory snacks and also get 25 cents off per gallon when they download the Inner Circle app. You get 25 cents off per gallon of your first 5 fill-ups. First 5 Polar Pops are free, and every 6th item, such as pizza, roller grills, dispensed beverages, donuts, and more, is free as well. And you can get this for free just by downloading and joining the Inner Circle program. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to circlek.com/inner-circle for more information. And if you just want a free any size Polar Pop today, text DNVR to 31310. That's DNVR to 31310, and you're going to get a free Polar Pop of any size. Message and data rates apply. Periodic recurring messages per month. Terms and conditions can be viewed at circlek.com.
Oh yeah, and you don't have the reads.
Tell us about Circa.
Circa.
Geez, ad reads would be
Circa,
miserable
Circa.
if
It's tough.
it was just the Henry
Well, so
John
somebody
podcast.
tweeted, is like, well, it doesn't really matter. It's like a credit increase on a credit card. It's like, no, it's like a check for $13 million. Pay off your credit cards. Do whatever you want. Yeah, Circa, we went out there a couple times. Circa's really awesome. There's obviously like a bunch of things that I like. I like that game with like the piggies. What do you call it? Rich little piggies. It's like you blow it up, and we talked about it a bit on
You
here.
do
I made
love that game.
That was a good game to me over that trip, and it was one of the few good games to me. But I mean, that's a little niche. I think the big thing everybody likes, obviously, is the sports book. Like, it's pretty crazy. We went down there for that Nuggets-Lakers game, Kobe night, when they were unveiling the statue, and the Nuggets went out there and just stole their hearts. I made a lot of money on that one. The stadium swim is obviously awesome as well. We haven't been out there in like the summer when like the vibes are perfect, but you can still hang out there. It's still a good time, even when it's a little chilly, just because that screen's so big. They got the cabanas. Circa's incredible.
Do we have any trips planned in the summer?
I was trying to think.
Can we just plan one? Like,
I feel like
Oh,
we
just
should.
put one
just the
together
boys?
just because.
Go to
Exactly.
Circa?
To do the show in Circa.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could
In
totally
Vegas.
make that happen.
Just make it
I
happen.
like that.
We should work on that. We'll talk to Circa. You should talk to Circa too, because they've got all sorts of stuff. 3-story stadium style seating, the sportsbook, 7,000 square foot casino, 4,000 people fit in that stadium swim. All sorts of different stuff. Bars all over the place. 500 rooms with all sorts of different layouts. And if you're going out there for, maybe the next time Broncos are there, or the Avs are playing the Knights, Pac-12 tournament is coming up. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to make it out there, but I'm still trying. Book your stay with the code DNVR20. You'll get 20% off, and also download the Circa Sportsbook app, which is available in Colorado. You can download the app at circasports.com. Circa sports bets can only be made while physically located in the state of Colorado. Must be 21 or older. All rights reserved. Circa Sports Colorado encourages you to gamble responsibly. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER or visit problemgamblingcolorado.org.
All right, so we have some more news. We talked earlier in the week, 2 days ago, about franchise tag numbers. We now know what those would be. Offensive lineman, if they want to go Lloyd Cushenberry, would be $21 million. Not happening. Linebacker, Josie Jewell, would be $24 million. So about what we were talking about, actually a little more than that. Kicker would be the $5.9 million that we talked about.
That's still a terrible idea. I mean, there's of all the contracts on all the kickers on expiring contracts who are going to hit the market this offseason, Will Lutz was 6th in field goal percentage. Like, he's just not worth that. Like, he's just not. You can get him so much cheaper. I think the question is whether he gets to keep making that $4 million a year he had before.
Well, I don't care what you think. Sean Payton loves him. And so if there's any
he's not
thought...
going to hand him money, though.
I've seen it
Yes,
before.
he will. What are you talking? This is the New Orleans.
Just for
this
free?
is the New Orleans Broncos.
Just give him a little pay bump? I doubt it.
If there's any thought of that they might lose Will in free agency, they'll tag him. Now they'll probably be able to get a deal done beforehand because they'll just be able to do, 5 for 15, 10 million, or 3 for 15, 10 million guaranteed, so benefits both sides. But that's just still the one in my mind to really keep your eye on there.
And when you have a guy like, they pay their guy, like the guy that they like. Think about like Dak Prescott. He lost in the playoffs, and like the very next day, the reports were that they were working on a new contract. Like that is Jerry's guy, no matter what happens, you know.
Yeah.
So it just is what it is sometimes.
Yeah. There's just no need to give him that much money. He wasn't that good. Like there's no reason to make him the second highest paid kicker when there are 5 kickers on the market who had better years than him. Like there just won't be that much of a market for him. Like they should be just fine. Like they'll probably just get the deal done soon, but they could also wait until free agency and do it. That like there's no risk. There's no risk of losing him, I don't think.
But you remember this year by itself. Sean remembers the game-winning field goals in the years that he was good. And you put that all together, and he has a different look of Will Lutz than you do because he's seen him his whole career, and he was helpful to Sean for many years.
But I also think the rest of the league has a different view of Will Lutz, too, because he made 74% of his kicks the year before. He was coming off a terrible year.
And what did Sean do? He went and cut Brandon McManus.
Sean
the
did,
guy.
yeah.
Yes.
But
whose team is this?
Yep.
Well, I'm just saying there won't be many teams who are looking at Will Lutz's record
Doesn't
and bidding
matter.
on him.
You have to
Doesn't
decide
matter.
the franchise
There's no
tag
market.
before the market, though. Before
But there's
free
no
agency
way
opens.
they spend that much money on him. Because I mean,
No.
There's way more of a chance. My whole argument with this is he is the only guy that you would franchise tag. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's a 100% chance that they franchise tag him, but if there's any guy that's going to be franchise tagged, it's without a doubt Will. And I would put it at like 30% chance. I'm not saying he's going to get that $6 million. I think the way you're talking is like it's a 0% chance.
It's like 5 to me.
Yeah, and I think it's like 30.
But 5 is more than anybody else, which is fair.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. We also know the price tag for Pat Surtain's 5th-year option, which the Broncos would have to decide on this May. Does the price matter for Pat Surtain's 5th-year option?
Absolutely not.
Well, it's $19.8 million.
Yeah. We'll find some way to wiggle around some money, yeah.
You pick that up, and you do it right now.
Yep.
You don't even wait until May and the deadline to do that. So you pick that up just like you said. And that's the most expensive 5th-year option for a cornerback because he's made 2 Pro Bowls, so he's earned the most money possible, and they're still going to be getting him on a massive bargain then because by the time that comes around, he'll be like a $25, $30 million a year sort of player, and they'll be getting him for $19.8.
Great deal.
Yep.
So these are all good numbers, right? We're talking about? Let me throw a concerning number your way. I think I've already spoiled it for you guys, but do you guys know where the Broncos rank in terms of Super Bowl odds next year?
Oh, you said they were like bottom 2, right?
Close. You're being very optimistic on them, Todd.
That's optimistic.
Oh no.
I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I guess you're a hater on the Broncos with that.
Shoot.
They're bottom 3. You were close.
Okay.
Can you guess? So they're actually tied with like 6 different teams for the 3rd worst odds to win the Super Bowl this coming year. Can you guess the 2 teams that have even worse odds than them? Easy. Yep.
And
the other one's just kind of random in my mind. Do you know, Henry?
If
you
no,
flip,
off the
don't
top
guess,
of my head,
but
no.
Again, random. At least how I would view it. I'm not trying to throw you guys off.
Washington? I don't know. What do you think?
That's one that's tied with the Broncos.
I wonder. Oh, maybe the
Patriots?
Cardinals.
Man,
Cardinals in a tough division.
You guys are getting really close. Who did you guess?
The Patriots.
The Patriots
That's
tied
a good
with the
one.
Broncos,
Yeah.
just as the Commanders are tied with the Broncos.
Okay.
What's the toughest? The Giants maybe? No, they were a playoff
The
team a year ago.
Giants are
Yeah.
tied with the Broncos. You
Dang.
guys getting really close. Think just a random team.
I mean,
Like obviously not a great team.
yeah. I
When
feel
I
like
see
it's
this
got to be
team, I
just
just-
coming
The
out of a terrible
Cardinals?
division. I said that, yeah.
The
Oh, you said that?
Cardinals
Yeah.
are slightly better than the Broncos.
Okay.
Which is weird.
Broncos
The
are
Rams are
plus
good.
10,000 to win
Dang.
the Super Bowl. The Panthers, boy, we think the Broncos are down bad at plus 10,000. Panthers plus 25,000.
Yeah.
And then there's one team sitting there at plus 15,000.
Can you think of anybody?
No.
Their best player is likely not going to be back with them anymore, and it's not the quarterback position. They switched quarterbacks in the middle of last year. They went from a veteran to a rookie.
Oh, the Titans?
The Titans. Is that about the most random team?
No, I can see that. And they have a new head coach.
New head coach, yep. I think the same GM.
Losing Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Quarterback competition?
They'll probably just let Levis go. Because why not just
let him go? You mean like let him start?
Like he goes and plays. Let him loose, yeah.
I don't even know who's on their roster as far as wide receivers.
Not Derrick Henry. I said the favorite for Derrick Henry.
Brown.
Yeah.
The favorite for Derrick Henry is the Ravens.
I saw that.
Which would be awesome.
That feels like a video game move.
I know. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. Like, it might not work because he's old and all that, but, like, I mean, week 1, I'm not missing their first game.
Derrick
It'd be
Henry
awesome.
is still great. Do you agree, Todd? Or do you just view him as trash since he never had success against you guys?
No, he's a good player. I mean, just the days that he faced us, I think we just got the best of him.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, last year, 1,167 yards, 12 touchdowns. The amount I would die for that type of production from the Broncos running back.
Yeah. Still, yeah.
Okay, so you guys have... so do you think the Broncos are better than the Panthers?
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You looked at me like
definitely.
I was crazy.
No, you're good.
Which,
Yeah.
that is kind of a crazy... Of course, they should be better than the Panthers. What about better than the Titans?
Yes.
Okay. Now you've guessed the Commanders.
Yep.
You've guessed the Giants. You've guessed the Patriots. There's one other team that has the exact same Super Bowl odds as the Broncos.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders. Yep. And crazy enough, Vegas, and when I say Vegas, I mean like the betting sites, hate the Raiders. They I think the Broncos were like 2 games behind the Raiders, had already lost to the Raiders last year at some point in the season, and the Broncos still had like better odds to win more games, better odds to win the Super Bowl, better odds to win the AFC West than the Raiders. For whatever reason, Vegas just
I know the
hates
reason.
Tell me, please.
Aiden O'Connell.
This was like when Jimmy Garoppolo was still the quarterback, though.
Then I know the reason.
Why?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
But this was still when they had Derek Carr even 2 years ago.
Oh, well, weren't they bad?
It's just crazy. I don't get it. Like, whatever the case has been.
They haven't been wrong, though, have they?
No, but like,
Yeah.
they've been much higher on the Broncos, and the Broncos have actually been worse.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the Broncos, it's like, oh, they got Russell Wilson, they'll be good. And then after that, it was like, oh, they got Sean Payton, maybe they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
like,
fair.
there was at least, like...
There's been hype.
There's at least, like, reasons things could change. Like, you look at the Panthers, and there's just no path. You know, like, the Panthers... It's just not possible. Like, you can't get that many good players. But then, meanwhile, you look at, like, the Bears were terrible. They're a terrible, terrible team. But they have, like, 3 times the chance to win the Super Bowl that the Broncos have because maybe Caleb Williams shows up and he's just a freak. It's unlikely, but at least there's, like, you know how it could happen.
I would actually buy extremely low on the Panthers at plus 25,000.
Yeah.
Bryce Young, former #1 overall pick.
It's true.
We've seen rookies come in and have bad years and then get the right coach around them, and it seems like they went all in on this coach for Bryce Young. He's a guy that's really helped a lot of quarterbacks throughout their careers. But I'm not going to make the case that the Panthers should be better Super Bowl odds than the Broncos. But
I mean,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
What?
The case is that the Broncos are in a terrible division. Like we've talked about before, like that's why the Broncos are down so low. Like it's not like they would be like way up at the top, but if you put them in the AFC South or the NFC South or something like that, then all of a sudden things would change. But just like again, I don't want to be too dire about Kansas City again, but we've talked about how that division's probably going to play out. Like it's probably just going to be them winning again. And if it's not, now you've got Jim Harbaugh there, and so it's not even so easy to be like to take advantage if it doesn't work out. So when you just have that in front of you, you're kind of screwed. You're really screwed if you trust the odds.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what the odds would say. So I want to ask you guys, is this right? Is this, because Vegas odds aren't based off of probabilities of what's going to happen. It's based on what people bet on. And so the public isn't necessarily always going to be right on this. But if you want to celebrate with our friends over at Breckenridge Brewery. Grab yourself a Breck beer today, where it's still the official craft beer of the DNVR Broncos show of DNVR. We still love Breck Brewery, and it is a Breck Brew Friday here. So grab yourself. Strawberry Sky's going to be 65 degrees out this weekend. And head over to breckbrew.com to find the beer locator, top right corner of the screen. Click on that, and it's going to tell you not just where to get Breck beer, but where to get specific types of Breck beer. They're made with 100% renewable energy right here in Colorado. We love Breck beer. You guys, we know that you're going to love it as well. So get a Fun Slinger, Good Company hard seltzers. They've got so many for this weekend. And of course, tag us with Breck Brew when you're drinking it. Check them out, breckbrew.com.
Yeah, and also check out American Financing, too. It's an awesome company. We've actually heard from a couple of you who've reached out to them and done some business with them, which is awesome. And more of you should join them. There's a whole bunch of reasons why. They're salary-based consultants, so they don't make money off of, like, what you do. It's all just about them helping you as much as they can. On average, their customers save $854 a month, which is a lot of money. That's about $10,000 a year, which that's a massive raise for just about anybody. There's no incentive, like I said, for them to put you in a loan that doesn't make sense. They have a whole bunch of different perks, things like you might be able to delay 2 mortgage payments if you call it a day. They're a Colorado-based company, but they're licensed in all 50 states. So regardless of where you are, you can reach out and they can help you out. Call them today. Make sure that you tell them that DNVR sent you, and you can reach them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or go to americanfinancing.net/DNVR. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
All right. So is that right? Should the Broncos, are they tied for the third worst team in the NFL?
Well, you said there's 6 teams, so like the third.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 3rd through
10th.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. To me, it's hard for me to argue with you, Todd, because we don't know the quarterback. Mm-hmm. And that's the most important position, not just in the NFL and all of sports. If the Broncos go out and they get a Jayden Daniels in the draft, then I'll be like, yeah, they should be maybe a little bit higher. It's still a rookie, so there's still going to be growing pains. But let's say it's Jarrett Stidham or something like that, then this is probably the right spot for them to be in. But, I get why Vegas would just not really know where to put the Broncos and so kind of lump them in the biggest group of teams, which I believe plus 10,000 is the biggest lump of teams grouped together. And that's probably the right spot just because you don't know. In 2 months, I bet this number is different, and the Broncos kind of have their own spot, whether it's like the 20th best team in terms of odds or the 29th best team, I guess the 3rd worst team in terms of odds. But I bet we know a little bit more certain in a couple of months when we know the most important quarterback, or when we know the most important position with the quarterback.
And I guess we could be a little bit optimistic because a couple of those teams we lost to last year, and one of them twice. So we're looking better than we thought, guys. You know?
Exactly.
Things are looking up.
Like you look at, and they're tied with the Commanders, the Giants, the Patriots, and the Raiders. The 4 teams in front of them, like if you were to bump them up, would be the Saints, the Cardinals, the Steelers, and the Buccaneers. So do the Broncos sound more like Commanders, Giants, Patriots, Raiders, or Saints, Cardinals, Steelers, Bucks? It probably is Commanders, Giants, Patriots, Raiders. And again, it's like,
that might be generous.
They lost to those teams.
Yeah.
Like that's why. And
they lost to all of them but the Giants.
Yeah, but I mean, they did. They beat the Chiefs, who were number 2. They beat the Bills, who were number 4. They beat the Packers, who are number 9. So you have some of those too, but every team does.
I was just gonna say, the Raiders also beat the Chiefs.
Oh, totally. But that's why, I mean, they shouldn't be below the Patriots and Raiders just because they lost to them.
You're saying you shouldn't be above them?
Definitely shouldn't be above them. Yeah. But shouldn't be below.
It's just crazy looking at these odds. San Francisco is the favorite to win the Super Bowl next year at plus 550. So Vegas is saying there's 19 times more likely to win than the Broncos, which in the NFL, so many things can happen. That I find to be ridiculous when you have a Super Bowl winning head coach on your staff.
Yeah, I don't They're number one to win the Super Bowl next year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff they got to deal with, too. I don't know if Ayuk's going to be there, and he's one of their better receivers.
Yep.
The best as of last year?
Probably.
So,
Yep.
I don't know if
Intriguing.
I've ever seen a player so quickly after such a successful season for himself
Like, I'm out.
and the team do that. I
Yeah.
mean, it was like 2 days after they lost the Super Bowl that his girlfriend, who has since made it very clear, she's not just his girlfriend. They live together. They're a pair. She's made it well known how close they are and how much her business is his business and his business is her business. So she's really tried to legitimize just how important her words are, and I take her word for it. But she came out just 2 days after and said, like, peace out, San Francisco. He comes out, does not say anything to discount what she said. Like, this was within 3 or 4 days of being in the Super Bowl, of having like a 1,400-yard season for him.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy be like so disconnected right away.
Yeah, me either. And I think he's younger, so sometimes you got to play the game. Because if you play the game, San Francisco might be bidding for you, even though you know there's no way I'm going back. But they can help drive up your price in the open market and make some things happen. So probably wouldn't have did it, but, to each his own. And that's how he was feeling.
Yeah. I mean, so he's on the 5th-year option this year. So what he wants is ideally get traded somewhere where those give him the contract right now, which makes sense because who wants to play on the 5th-year option when you're 4 years in, you're averaging 1,000 receiving yards a year. Like that's give me my money before something bad happens. So, I mean, I kind of get it. At the same time, 49ers fans hate him or maybe don't hate him, but that's one of those things where it's just like you don't want to lose the fan base. You don't want to piss off the organization. Like, ideally, I would imagine in his case, you stick with the 49ers because they're a really good team and you get your money. And I feel like he's kind of like took off the top option from the table, or for now at least.
And he probably looks at what his teammate did, Deebo Samuel. Deebo did the same thing. Now, he did it much later in the year. I think 2 years ago is when he got his contract. And he got paid, so he's probably close with Deebo. He's probably like, damn, Deebo did this, I'm going to do it. And it worked for him. Let's hope it works for me, too. But another crazy
That's why
thing.
it's not going to work.
It's a good
49ers
point.
learned.
To relate Ayuk to the Broncos, he's a guy that is rarely talked about being in the same draft class as Jerry Jeudy. But he is. Because you look at Justin Jefferson, who was drafted after Jerry Jeudy and who's the best receiver in the NFL when healthy. You look at CeeDee Lamb, who's like maybe the best receiver in the NFL this past year. He was drafted after Jerry Jeudy. So was Brandon Ayuk. Like, there's a reason why people hold and want so much more out of Jerry Jeudy and keep pointing to his potential is because he was drafted above these guys who are arguably 3 of the top 5 receivers in the NFL right now. Yeah. He was drafted above them because of his potential, and that's why people keep pointing to his potential and keep wanting him to be on the team because they think like, man, maybe he can be as good as those guys because those are 3 of the best receivers in the NFL. I'm not saying it's right, but that's just why Jerry just keeps getting so much support from people.
And when I see that, I think about Ayuk and kind of it's not always greener on the other side. Like the grass is not always greener. You can go and get put in a situation where you're in and out of a quarterback. You're not getting the targets. You're not having the scheme that gets you open like Shanahan's does. Like the grass is not always greener. If you're in something that works, find a way to stay rather than like trying to find another outlet because those guys are in great positions. And even CeeDee Lamb has like really stepped forward this year, but he got targeted almost every play, it felt like. And it was all 5-yard hitches for him to do something with. Like, he just found the right system, or they found the right system that fit him, but it took years to do that. Grass isn't always greener, man. I don't always feel that.
Like, if you, like, there are definitely places where you could go, where you could be excited. Like, if the Bengals move on from one of their receivers, they want to replace him with Ayuk. Wow. That's awesome. Like, if it's like the Chargers with Herbert because they're getting old, like if you're Ayuk, that's exciting. You could just as easily be going to the Panthers to replace like DJ Moore or like Denver, I guess. But like there's just so many places where things don't go well. Other thing in Ayuk, so his last year was my first year covering CU. His last year in college, it's when
he was at ASU.
Yeah, so that was with Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels is a true freshman, got him 1,200 yards. Those guys were so sick back then.
So you're saying Broncos trade up to get Jayden Daniels, trade at
Trade what?
27-7 first round pick
Yeah.
for Brandon Ayuk, pay him, and then you're good.
I'm not quite saying that, but I'm saying it would be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot
I'll say
of
that.
fun.
Yeah, there's a lot
But
of speed to
Jaden
get into the
Daniels
offense.
works out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a fun draft to get to. Before we do, no, we're not hitting an ad break right now. I want you guys to tell me, ESPN put pro comparisons out for top NFL draft prospects. We talked about potentially trading up for some of these quarterbacks. If I told you that this quarterback or this player would become this next guy, tell me if you'd trade up for him. Okay. If these comps work out and how far you would trade up. Caleb Williams is Aaron Rodgers. How much would you be willing to give up? Would you be willing to go all the way to 1, which would be 3 firsts, a second, or 2 seconds?
Yeah, he's been to 2 Super Bowls, right? 1-1.
Yep, 3 MVPs.
3 MVP,
Yeah.
3
So he's
MVPs,
back-to-back.
2 back-to-back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely do that.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you move up to get Marvin Harrison Jr. if he's AJ Green? Let's say you have to move up to the 3rd pick.
Dang.
That's a weird one.
So that's
yeah.
like, what?
That's tough
It's probably
because they
3
never did
first-round
it.
picks.
They never did it,
It's
right?
true.
Nope.
But he's also a
But
receiver, so
he was really a hell of a receiver.
exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault.
I'm gonna say no.
I agree.
Yeah.
He was great, but he was never like the unquestioned best receiver in the NFL.
Maybe there was 1 year.
Maybe one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe 1 year.
So maybe one. It sounds a little
but
bit
he
questioned.
was. I would say when he played, he was always, or at least in his prime, he was top 3 for at least a couple years.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because the team didn't do anything really.
Yeah,
That's why we
yeah,
don't
that's the
view him as
problem.
high.
But also, like, did he play with Carson Palmer at all? Maybe
I would've
early on.
thought so, yeah.
And then it was mostly Andy Dalton. And that's one of those
Uh-huh.
things, though, where it's like Andy Dalton was always kind of seen as like kind of a decent quarterback, but nothing special. Like never got into the playoffs or whatever
Yeah.
the stat was. He also might have just looked a lot better because of AJ Green. And you give AJ Green to
Yeah.
the Broncos don't have quarterbacks. That's not the example. But again, like throw him on the Chargers, give him to Herbert. Maybe things look totally different.
But the exact same time, that's why you don't give up a ton for receivers, whether it's paying or draft pick wise, because it is a dependent position.
For sure.
And you have to have the offensive line in order to help the quarterback, and obviously you have to have the quarterback. Okay,
That's
Malik
football.
Neighbors, if he's Stephon Diggs, would you trade an additional first to move up to like 5 to get him?
Is he just Stephon Diggs the player? Or does he get kind of some
Yeah,
of
let's
the...
say the player.
Okay.
Yeah.
'cause-
What's the other stuff you don't want?
Well, it just feels like every couple weeks there's just something going on.
Oh, dang.
Which,
He's
like,
doing,
again,
he's
like,
doing the Brandon Ayuk every couple of
he's a
weeks.
receiver. Like, he's earned that. Like, he gets to do whatever he wants. Like, if he wants to say, I'm upset, he can say he's upset. But he's just upset a lot. Which would upset me if that was going on a lot here. So, I mean, like, if it's just, like, on the field-wise, absolutely. On the field-wise,
So you trade
how many?
him-
There have been multiple years where he's the best receiver in the league.
You would trade.
I don't know. I feel like he's the same thing as AJ. If we're gonna
Yeah,
say that on him, I think him
I
and
do.
AJ Brown would be in the same.
AJ Green.
AJ Green.
Hey,
Yeah,
AJ
Bronco,
Green.
I agree
yeah.
with you.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah.
That's fair. I would put him a tick ahead. I would put
Of
Diggs ahead.
AJ Green.
Yeah.
AJ Green was a dog.
He was a
Yeah.
dog, but Stephon Diggs was a dog too. And
He
and
was.
and
But with
it's
two,
still is
I
solid.
would say both his quarterbacks have been better than AJ Green's quarterback.
definitely
For
That
sure.
is also true.
Without a
That is
doubt.
definitely true.
Okay, if Jaden Daniels is Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Two-
that's
Oh,
this
God,
is
yeah.
to trade up to 3. So it's 3 first-round picks. I know
come
you don't
on.
want to trade 3
I
first-round
don't.
picks, though.
I don't.
But
if
you would
he's
do
Lamar,
it then.
Yeah.
Okay, I like
Yeah.
that. I
Oh,
like that.
I'd trade more than 3 first. Yeah.
Now we'll end with this one, a very interesting one.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
If Drake May is Justin Herbert, would you trade up to 2 or 3? Which is, again, 3 first-round picks.
Drake May is Justin.
No.
No, definitely not. It get you into like you get your 4 good years where he's cheap, and so it's like a good pick, and then after that you're like, well, we gotta give him $50 million to be a decent quarterback, and that I just wouldn't do it.
I think
would give him a
obviously
second contract.
with the production the first 4 years, no, you wouldn't because of the lack of team success. But Harbaugh might change that. And so in a year, we might be having a different conversation there. Justin Herbert's such a weird one because he absolutely is a franchise quarterback. But he hasn't proven that he's a top 5 quarterback at all. It's a very interesting spot for a team to be in. And if he does take that step up, obviously the Chargers are thrilled with it. If not, then it's exactly what Hank's saying. You are in such a tough spot because you have too good of a quarterback to move on from.
Yeah.
But you don't have a quarterback that's living up to the $50 million, $60 million contract.
Tough position to be in.
It is a very
much
tough
rather be in that
position
position
to
though.
My question
true.
is, because we brought up Aaron Rodgers, Lamar.
Yeah.
If you could take Aaron Rodgers as a rookie or Lamar, you have to take Rodgers, right?
As a rookie,
Like, you get to start the career right now. And again, like, you don't know success, but you know the player. Like, you just know, like, you get him and he goes and does what he does with your team.
I mean, I don't like Aaron Rodgers, so I'm probably just
dang.
going to go Aaron Lamar.
Yeah?
I don't know.
It's a
like-
weird question, though, just because you have so much unknown with Lamar, because he just turned 27.
And when did Aaron Rodgers win his Super Bowl? How old was he? I think it's probably right around then, but probably
Right
a
around
little
there.
bit. Yeah, probably right around then, actually.
Yeah, he won the one Super Bowl. That would have been 2010. He is now 40, so 16 years,
No.
10 years ago.
2014.
14.
Yeah,
There we go.
14.
14.
What year is
26.
this,
So
Henry?
about the same age. But again, like,
He does
the team
all our
built around.
calculations for the salary cap,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
does all the players. But
It's true.
You just said we're the same age?
We are.
No, you just said
I don't friggin' know.
you just said you and Aaron Rodgers are the same age.
No,
You're
no,
nowhere
no, no,
close.
no. I definitely didn't say it. Mine said something that sounds like it. But that's the thing. So, like, Aaron Rodgers has 4 MVPs. Lamar has 2. Lamar obviously has a lot of career to go. Rodgers got the one Super Bowl. The team around him was also awesome. Like, that was that like Donald
Yeah, you'd
Driver
probably
and stuff.
take Aaron
yeah,
Rodgers.
they did.
But also, like, Lamar's best still may be to come. But also, I mean, I don't know. It's a weird question.
Gosh, just-
Either one, flip a coin.
But
I'll take
yeah,
either one
that's
right
the real
now.
answer.
Okay, wait.
Either
We
one
get
would be
we,
awesome.
we have one more comparison.
Right now, I'll take Andy Dalton.
We've got one more comparison because I think it's going to pique your guys' interest after I tell you about our friends over at Fubo TV. I was watching Fubo TV last night, watching the Nuggets, and switched over to some Arizona college basketball.
Go
I
baby.
lost money over there, so don't do that. But do go over to friends our Fubo TV. Scan the QR code on our screen or go to FuboTV.com/DNVR where they've got over 140 live channels of sports, shows, movies, news. You can stream from any device in your home, but also when you're out on the road traveling, there's no contracts, no cable, no hassle. Just sign up, start watching. They've even got a free trial, so you can do it without paying any money. And if you go to FuboTV.com/DNVR, they're going to give you 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. Check them out, FuboTV.com/DNVR.
Also, go on over to Foco. I'm checking it out right now. Oh, looks like they've got some new. A tumbler doesn't have a handle, right?
Oh, I have no idea.
Is that the difference you're saying between?
I think so, but it's like a tumbler but with a handle.
So a mug?
But like a travel mug. A mug, you would think like it's just like the ceramic, you know.
Right.
But these are like the metal, like. But the point is, they have team logos on them. These look new. They look super sharp. I know it has like the Eagles throwback logo here. I'd imagine the Broncos probably have something pretty cool too. Those look nice. All sorts of new bobbleheads. It looks like I haven't been on here. Oh, and of course they've got the 2024 NBA All-Star embroidered bears. So if you want a little Nikola Jokic bear that looks like he's wearing like the little Nikola Jokic All-Star uniform, this is the place for you. They've got all sorts of different stuff. They've got Broncos gear, Buffs gear, Nuggets, Avs, Rockies, anything you could think of. You can head over to Foco because they've got all sorts of different stuff. They've got you can now pre-order a Terrell Davis Denver Broncos Super Bowl 32 MVP bust big head bobblehead. Ooh. So it's like it's him, but the legs are missing. He's kind of like popping up out of the stadium. That's awesome. They also have the MVP from the next Super Bowl, John Elway, on another one. They have so much cool stuff over there. Oh, a different John Elway bobblehead. All sorts of different things: backpacks, shoes, pajamas, Christmas ornaments that light up. Go check it out. Foco has all the best stuff. They always have our bag for Colorado sports. They have yours too. So get the best gear around by using the link in our description. And for all non-presale items, you can use the promo code DNVR10 for 10% off.
Okay, so at the 12th pick, right before we get to our draft,
A chef hat.
Terrion Arnold, cornerback from Alabama, and Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia, are both on the board. I told you Terrion Arnold's going to be Devon Witherspoon, who's one of the best cornerbacks in the league this year, and also young. And I told you Brock Bowers is going to be George Kittle. Who are you taking?
Kittle. Give me Kittle by a mile.
Kittle.
Yep, Kittle.
Yeah.
Kittle.
Kittle by a mile.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt.
I'll take Kittle,
absolutely.
but not by a mile.
By a mile.
To have Devon Witherspoon
The-
and
I
Pat
mean-
Surtain?
He's played one season, which is awesome. But I mean, like,
Okay, what if I
But-
told you it was Pat Surtain and George Kittle? You can have Pat Surtain the second times 2.
yeah, I go Kittle. He's more proven. He's been around so long. And again, like tight ends, there's tough to find. You already have a Pat Surtain. Not that you wouldn't like another, but you don't necessarily need 2 great corners. Although we know what happens when you do have those.
It's true.
I still go Kittle. I still go Kittle.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
There we go.
You have
All
to.
right. Let's see where we're going with our draft of the week. We're going the Great Desert
Yeah, not Desert Island.
Yeah,
That'd be
no,
crazy.
not desert, but deserted island?
It would be deserted. Deserted, yes.
Okay, so both. Island draft. And we got to make some ground rules for this to end our week here. So one of the ground rules we've already laid out
Yep.
is everyone gets water.
Yep.
Because if there was only one, or if water was on the table, it would be like Jesus last week. It would be like whoever gets water
Exactly.
or
It's
gonna
Jesus is
live,
going to win the
yeah.
draft and win.
Could you draft Jesus? Turn the water to wine?
Are you gonna
Get
eat,
the free
are you
bread?
Gonna eat Jesus? That's
No.
what you're
No, but you-
advocating
well, I
here
mean-
because we're going foods, Henry.
No, but he can create foods.
Exactly.
Mostly bread, I guess. But
Wait.
wine from the water. So it's kind of like a 2 for 1, though.
no,
fish
because
too,
we know
fish
if
too.
you
Fish,
get,
also the fish.
Wow,
yes,
no,
yes.
no, definitely not.
Okay,
Now.
so we can't draft Jesus. Could we draft just a chef? Never mind. No, we can't do
Yeah, never. So we're going 5 rounds.
All right.
So we'll do liquids outside of water and food.
Okay.
But some ground rules, like, are we
Yep.
going ingredients? Are we going like
thought about this too.
entrees? And if we're going ingredients, are we going like pasta or are we going like wheat?
No, we're going.
I think it has to be like
Meals.
a dish.
Dish.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
can't
dishes.
A dish.
be. But you like if you say like you can't say like a steak dinner. Like you don't then get like potatoes
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
asparagus
yeah,
You
and
get
whatever else.
steak.
You get a steak.
Yeah.
A fillet.
Pick your steak. Yeah.
So Henry, you complained that you didn't like us using your name when you weren't drafting last week. So
Yeah,
how about
I
we
think-
give you the number 1 pick?
Those rules change. That's illegal now. Just ask the Supreme Court. Can't use my name, image, or likeness.
No, actually, that's allowed. Name, image.
That's
and
probably in
likeness
my
is
contract
allowed.
now that I think of it. Yeah.
We own you.
Geez, I wasn't prepared to go first. I'm gonna go with.
He's gonna botch this.
Just give me the steak. Just give me the steak. I could eat. You eat steak for dinner every night. That's what people dream of. Maybe not me necessarily, but a lot of people.
And so wait, we're going. This is like to live on a deserted island the rest of your life.
Yeah.
On
Hopefully
these-
a long time.
Yeah.
It's just a nice meat staple.
Starting off with steak, I don't think it's gonna be a long time.
I think I can't even be mad because that was actually gonna be my first round.
Oh
draft.
no
Yes,
way!
yes.
that's
That's a
a good
staple.
choice.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a good choice.
Banana split. Oh.
Banana split's good.
Dang, this sucks because now I have to rethink my list.
Wow.
Let me go. Well, my second draft pick was going to be eggs, so I'm going to move that up to my first round draft
That's a
pick.
good one.
Because I was thinking steak and eggs.
Yeah. Eggs for
You can
breakfast.
have the eggs
Yeah.
for breakfast.
You can
have
boil
steak
the
for
egg.
dinner.
There's-
So I got to do eggs.
That was on my list.
in
I was
first-
considering eggs. And I was
my
like,
first round draft
I was
pick.
thinking like,
And
what's gonna get me
I
made
knew
fun of?
Zach wasn't going to pick steak because he's not a big
No.
meat eater. So I was like, okay, I got steak.
I don't like eggs either,
You
so you
know.
would have been good.
Yeah, yeah.
Both of
Both of those
slipped
would've
by
worked.
you.
Back, wow.
Eggs. Eggs never crossed my mind.
So versatile.
And again, I don't love eggs. I'll eat eggs, but that is probably should be worthy of a first round pick. So
Yep.
Todd, I
Alright.
give you credit there.
Just like steak.
I don't know where. I don't think there's a. I think eggs is the only first round pick worthy of being on here. I'm gonna go. Man, this is tough right here. I'm gonna go. Coffee.
Wow.
I am going to take that away from you guys because I think that was going to be picked at some point, and I'm just going to take it right off the board.
All right, I like
So
it.
there's a liquid. Man, I'm up again right now. Okay, I'm going to go with this second pick. It should probably be picked later in the draft, but I'm going to go fruit salad here.
Wow, that's crazy.
Just fruit salad every day.
Yeah,
Fruit
what
salad
kind?
and coffee.
Well, because fruit salad, breakfast, it could be a healthy side for lunch and dinner. It can be dessert. It can be a snack. I like this pick, actually.
When's the last time you had fruit salad?
It's probably been a long time. Yeah, but it just means, I'm getting my daily fruits in here.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
You don't, but you're being nice to me, so I appreciate that.
You know what? I have to change my first round draft pick.
No, you can't. You can't. Wait. I guess you probably could go
Where
back.
did you want to go?
Dang, I messed up.
Wow.
I messed up.
Oh, you have because
Wait, why? You have
I have a couple more. But
you don't think you're getting past me?
But you have like a pick right here.
I
So why do
know.
you want to change your first round pick before you've made this next
Because
pick?
my second pick can do my first round pick.
Wait, what could that possibly
Oh,
be?
so I thought about this.
A
You want to go
chicken.
chicken.
Yeah.
But no, then you only get one chicken.
I
Because
think-
once you eat it, it's dead.
Yeah, I
So
think
you
I think
can only
only
get
get
one
one
bag of
chicken?
eggs.
No,
You can only
but-
get one
yeah,
But
bag
you're
of
saying if
eggs.
I do chicken as then I just get unlimited chicken.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but it's like meat.
It's like
You get
breast.
the meat. Yeah.
I think if you take chicken, you get legs, you get wings.
Yeah, but they're not alive. It's
no,
not
exactly.
hatching
You don't.
eggs.
Yeah.
All right.
So you tried to outsmart this.
That
guy.
was
that
I was prepared
perfect.
for it.
All right,
Wow.
let's
Wow,
let
you
me
can
get
bring, like, a
chicken
goat or something?
for my second meal.
That's a good
You
one.
barbecue it, you can fry it. Because
Gosh.
we're not doing that kind of stuff like condiments and
No.
cooking.
I mean, if you want to take ketchup, take ketchup.
preparations.
But
You know
no.
what
Oh
I'm
no,
saying?
yeah, no.
feel like-
no, you don't get barbecue chicken and
What you
buffalo chicken
mean?
from this. You get chicken.
You get fruit salad?
Plain chicken.
Yeah,
I
wait.
get plain fruit.
No,
All
that's
cut
that's
up.
like 7 fruits.
chicken. Whoa.
So I can't cook. So he
Well, I
doesn't
think-
get.
I
What does
think-
he get on your steak? You get no butter, no salt, no pepper.
I
on
feel
your
like he
steak?
definitely-
Man, we should have had more ground rules. For
Dang.
I do
this.
think. I think
Maybe
you,
you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you can have
like the basics.
the sauce.
Okay,
Like
so
you,
but
salt
you
and
get
pepper
oil,
and then
salt,
oil.
pepper. Like
All right.
you can you need things to cook it. Like you can't be expected us to eat it all
okay,
raw.
that's fair. That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. So
All
we
right.
get all the
Okay, yeah.
basic.
Just kind of like the basic preparation. I'm not sure. Like I'm not necessarily giving you like buffalo sauce.
You don't get A1 steak sauce for your steak.
That's fair. Just give me a hunk of meat. I'm happy. I was thinking about no.
Oh, clip it
You gotta
Damn
clip
it.
that. That might be the worst of the.
Oh,
with a big old smile on
Damn
his
it.
face.
that's so
You gotta
embarrassing.
clip that.
I was
Oh,
thinking about
that's
that. Have you seen those
hilarious.
cows? I think it's like some of the more modern like agricultural schools will have like you can like take a hunk of meat out of the cow and the cow will kind of like naturally grow it back. But you
Wow.
can like make the
Huh.
I think there's a way to like take a cow, like you could take like a steak occasionally, but then you always get milk. Too late, but I just kind of
Wait,
crossed my mind.
Interesting.
I'll take potatoes here. Give me some potatoes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Steak and potatoes.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. And after that, I'm gonna
Henry,
follow
you're
that
actually
up.
doing well.
I'm gonna take lobster. I'm gonna enjoy my time on this island.
It's gonna be
I
good.
can,
It's not
I can
gonna
eat
be
lobster
long,
for
but
dinner
it'll be
over
good.
and over. Oh yeah, I mean it's not heart healthy, but I mean I eat McDonald's, I eat all sorts of shit anyway. Like it's not like my body's used to this. Honestly, it would be
You're
thrilled to be
actually
eating
doing
steak
pretty
and
good.
lobster. Yeah,
Yeah.
Steak, lobster, and potatoes every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You are.
That's a lot.
You're
I
doing.
might be done.
Man, yeah, you could just end there.
Yeah.
Todd, where are you going here?
I am actually going to go with essentials. I'm doing everything essential. So rice, because in the morning you can have
yeah.
rice and eggs.
No, that's a good one.
And in the middle of the day, you can have chicken and rice.
Yeah.
And then in dinner, of course, you can have chicken and rice again. Or you can have rice by itself,
Yep.
with a little bit of butter, salt, and pepper. You know, Survivor, they survive for months
Yep.
with rice. So I think
They do.
chicken and rice and eggs. I think I'm set for at least my first 2 meals of the day.
Rice
Yeah.
is that. I mean, it should have gone higher. I think that's a staple.
Maybe.
I mean, now you're having chicken fried rice, Todd.
Yeah.
That is maybe one of the best meals out there. And you get to have it for whatever meal you want. Okay, my draft is just totally effed already. So I'm going to go ice cream here. Steal the delicacy.
Delicacy.
Delicacy, there we go, from you guys. And this means I get any flavor of ice cream, which is
Yeah.
great. Now with round 4, got to get something. I'm going to go pasta here.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yep.
thank you.
Yeah.
You. Because this can be lunch or dinner. So now I've got, enough protein to carry me through. And I can have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert, which neither of you guys can have right now.
Which is fair.
It's
yeah.
true.
Yep.
Yep.
Todd?
This is a tough one. because you know you got to be strategic with these next two choices. I'm gonna pick it. I don't know if either of you would have picked it, but I think it'd be a great time on the island if I had some tequila.
Yeah, it's on.
So tequila's gonna be my fourth round choice. I think I'll be able to have a good time. Probably won't have breakfast, but definitely lunch and dinner.
Do you? I mean, after that tequila, you might just be sleeping through breakfast anyway, so it works out.
Yeah, win-win.
The classic tequila with your chicken fried rice.
Yep.
Henry, round your draft out.
I have to ask. He takes tequila, which is a good pick. You get out tequila. Can I take margaritas?
No,
because it is a tequila-based
you
drink.
Could
No,
take
okay.
Vodka margaritas.
Yeah, you can do margaritas. That's fine.
No, you took the tequila.
All right, nope.
Okay, that's fair. Oh, see, that's just like obviously frozen margarita also off the board. Then,
that'd be a good one.
Give me See, because the thing is, I'm tequila's a great pick. I think I'm gonna go with like pina colada.
Ah, it's nice.
Yep, I know because like I like the open-endedness of yours, but it's just a nice fruity drink.
Yeah,
and then I'll round out my draft with Captain Crunch. That's a breakfast. That's a dessert. It just makes you happy.
Yeah, no milk though, so you're eating it with pina colada juice. I guess you could. I mean, it's kind of milky on its own.
You could have some pina colada.
But then I was thinking, like, would that be better? Frosted Flake? No. Oh,
you know the sad thing.
I'm just gonna take Captain Crunch. I'm not gonna overthink it.
So it's a good pick. But the sad thing about it is, I would have just given him cereal in general, which would have included every type of cereal. Yeah, but you pigeonholed yourself into Captain Crunch.
I would eat that every time anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Staying true to yourself.
Frosted Flakes.
I appreciate that.
For my last pick, I want to do something that I can kind of expand my morning breakfast, but also as a dessert. Mm-hmm. I am going to do pancakes.
Oh.
I'm going to do pancakes, and I'm going to do Pancake House. What's the original Pancake House pancakes? Very specific. Not just any pancakes. I think pancakes can be my breakfast, but then if I want to have like a little sweet dessert, well, I guess I don't have syrup. Do I have to bring syrup? Is that something different?
I think it's the idea is like if you go to a restaurant, you say I want pancakes, they're bringing you syrup. Yeah. You know, I think you know like whenever you say like, hey, whoever's out there, like it's time for my daily pancakes, they'll bring you out like Survivor style.
So Jesus is there.
Jesus or somebody similar, yeah.
So that means I get like all different sorts of sauce with my pasta.
No, you just get noodles.
I
just get noodles.
Well, when I ask for pasta in a restaurant,
too many choices of pasta because you can get like steak pasta, chicken pasta, carbonara pasta. Like you can do ragu. Like it's too many options.
Okay, so I get red or white sauce.
Yes.
I get the option of both though.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah,
that's all I wanted. Yeah, that's all I was asking for. I was asking for steak pasta.
I should have known you didn't even. You probably don't even eat steak pasta.
No, I've never even heard of that.
He's just hoping he gets the butter and Parmesan.
Exactly. For this one, I mean, you guys were right. You got to have some fun. You're by yourself on a deserted island for the rest of your life. You got to have some sort of tasty beverage. So I'm gonna go beer here.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of you guys won, not me. But I went by my own rules. I stayed true to myself here.
I like it.
I'm curious.
Alyssa, who's gonna win?
I kind of like Henry's, but...
Yes. Alyssa's coming to my island. Let's
there
go.
was a big butt
Pina
there.
colada.
No, she's done.
Oh wow.
She's been treating me like second best all week.
I've never won
and
one of these before.
she's been treating me like third best all week too. Where's you here? This
Everybody's
has been
coming to my island. Mine's a good island.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch, pina
pretty
colada, lobster. Yeah.
Oh, but
you have no breakfast.
That's
I guess Captain Crunch
Yeah,
every day.
I love that Zach the whole time was saying like you're not gonna live very long eating that stuff. He's got ice cream. He's got
ice cream,
like
beer,
pasta,
and coffee.
Fruit
He's gonna
salad.
be wired.
I love fruit salad. I'm good.
I don't know. Where's the protein?
Where's your greens, Henry?
Potatoes are green.
No.
It's a
Not
stretch.
potatoes you should be eating.
I was thinking. I almost
Todd
took,
also has no green. Look at me. I'm the healthiest one here.
No, chicken and rice is what bodybuilders eat
Yeah.
every single day.
Exactly.
Like, you guys are gonna be heavy.
They don't have like the longest lives though.
No, that's
true.
steroids though. That does that.
That's
It's not just chicken and rice.
It's not the chicken and rice. Okay.
Do you want to turn in pancakes for steroids?
just swim off the island.
There you go.
Maybe sink.
Oh, man, this has been a blast. If you want to vote on this, go to DNVR_Broncos over on Twitter or X, and we will put a poll up in just a couple of hours. Thank you so much for rolling with us this week. We'll be back next week where we'll hear from Sean Payton and George Payton early in the week at the Combine. You're not going to want to miss it. Make sure to stay tuned with us. We'll be back Monday at 11 a.m. For Henry, Todd, Alyssa, Yakir, and Zach Stevens, thank you so much for rolling with us. We'll see you next week.
We all silly like the mayor.